All right, moving on to wide receivers on this team. And this is why Jared Goff isn't good.
Lions by far in the league have the most vacated by a lot.
Yes.
Like,
and they don't have much to pick up, in my opinion. They went and got Rashad Perriman.
And Tyrell Williams.
Wow. Is that a combination?
Tyrell Williams didn't play at all last year due to an injury.
And thinking that they were going to go and get a top wide receiver in the draft.
Which I'm glad they didn't. It's not the time for them to be taking a top wide receiver. The receiver that they did take in the draft, though.
In the 4th round.
I don't hate where he went.
I actually really like it.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Out of USC.
7th pick of the 4th round. I think is perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. He's going to play the slot for him. You got Perriman and Tyrell Williams on the outsides.
And he's a possession guy.
Could be.
Yeah. Well, he's not a burner. He's not going to get downfield. He's not super quick.
He's not really great at anything. He's just good at a lot of stuff.
He's just got good hands. He's got really good hands. And to me, he's just gonna get a lot of if they're smart, he's gonna get a lot of targets and
We'll see, because he'll be playing next to TJ. I think Perriman's by far the guy I'm looking at out of this wide receiver core. I don't expect a lot, but I expect him to be the leader. Tyrell Williams, I'm really not interested in at all. I just think he's done.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was one player at the wide receiver position who didn't get drafted this year, was signed as an undrafted free agent, this is the guy who I'd put my bet on. It's Sage Surratt at a BYU. No, he came out of Wake Forest. Wake Forest. I always get him mixed up with another guy.
The other guy you really like.
Yeah, he came out of Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big guy, and he's got the potential. I think he could take one of those outside spots. Who I'd be picking would be Tyrell Williams' spot. Mm-hmm. But I think that's going to take a while. And you're still dealing with a bad team.
Right.
Not great quarterback play. So he's more of a very deep, probably dynasty player to look at. But yeah, I think it'd be Perriman and Amon-Ra that I'd be looking at. Amon-Ra would have to be really late for me to even be interested, undrafted. He's probably one of those guys who you see the first couple weeks of the season, pick him up off the waiver wire if he's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be drafting him.
What is Perriman's ADP? Can you pull that up for me?
Of course. All right.
Perriman was really bad last year in the Jets. He signed a deal there. He had 30 receptions last year out of 60 targets, 50% catch rate. Not very good at all.
14th
round? I'm fine with that. That's like my last positional pick. I'm fine with that. You can find out real quick what this offense is going to look like week 1, week 2.
I mean, the thing is,
if it's not performing, you just drop him.
He's been a number 1 on a team and not performed, though.
Okay, but go back, because he was one of my guys who I had as a super deep sleeper last year going into the Jets. Because what he did, his last stint in Tampa Bay with Jameis Winston, those last handful of games when Mike Evans was down, Godwin was down, he was the only guy Jameis Winston's had to throw to.
Mm-hmm.
He was incredible. He was really, really good out in that stretch. And I mean, what's his competition right now besides TJ Hawkinson?
No, I get it. But what I'm saying is like, I just don't have much faith in him because he's never been.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, 14th round pick. Yeah. And that's
3.
Which I do like. I give that shout out the fantasy footballers. Well, that's one of their draft advice things that I heard a long time ago. It's one of those things that I really liked. I thought it was very smart. Is with like your last 2 picks of your redraft leagues, take players like this where you know very quickly in the season you can find out if they're going to be involved in the offense, how the offense is looking, and you can cut bait quickly. Yeah. Don't draft the guys who's going to be on your bench for a month and a half, 2 months, just hoping and waiting and nothing ever comes out. Don't waste that roster spot. Look for guys like this who could have the potential to be very usable with their last pick, and if they're not, you just cut them. It doesn't hurt you.
No, I mean, it does make sense. I'm not against that at all.
Yeah. So running backs for this team.
The only thing that actually, other than TJ, that looks decent.
Yeah. DeAndre Swift. He was just at like evaluating the talent at the running back position last year. He was my favorite guy. Mm-hmm. He's got a great combo of rushing ability and receiving.
Coming in the league, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not like before the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is very good. It took him a while though last year because for some reason, Matt Patricia wanted to throw Adrian Peterson out there.
So stupid.
Rest in peace, Kerryon Johnson.
Right.
He Didn't see a lot of work, but he saw some.
Who still didn't end up in Buffalo.
Swift, like, sneakily had a very good rookie season last year. It was inconsistent. He missed some time with injuries. But one nice thing is in 13 games, he saw 57 targets at the running back position. Saw 8 rushing touchdowns. His efficiency on the ground was very good, 4.57 yards per carry. There has been a lot of talk this offseason about the offensive coordinator and the Lions head coach talking about putting DeAndre Swift out in the slot more, out wide, getting him much more involved in this passing game, which could be very dangerous. But the only question is, we know this is not going to be a high-powered offense. They're not going to score the ball a lot. Him getting 10 touchdowns again, would you bet the over or the under on that?
I'd go over.
I'd go under. That's the one concern I have with DeAndre Swift is the rushing, is the touchdowns. Because where is he going right now in ADP?
DeAndre?
I would say 5th round, if I had to guess.
Is it
4th? Is it
3rd
4th?
round?
Really?
304.
Then I'm out. I see the potential. I love the talent, but there's just a lot of red flags in this offense. Not to mention the guy who they brought in this offseason free agency, Jamal Williams, who a lot of people think I hate this player, like Caleb and like Carlos. They always joke with me whenever Jamal Williams gets the ball, there goes your favorite player.
Yep.
It's not that I think he's a very good running back. He's just always kind of been that running back who just
like a little thorn in the side.
Yeah, just like
like he's never great, but what he does is he takes touches away from your great running back.
Yeah, he's very efficient. He's improved himself very good in the passing game. He's a very competent pass catcher now. He's just one of those very reliable players that coaches are willing to put in there because they know he'll get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be a concern. How much time are they going to be splitting this year? Because for how well DeAndre Swift did last year, it's not like he was the workhorse in this offense. He didn't see a ton of rushing attempts per game. He kind of balanced it between a good amount of rushing attempts and receiving attempts.
Mm-hmm.
Jamal Williams, I do think is going to be worked into this offense, and that's just another red flag for DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, I just don't feel like I'm going to be too worried about it. I think this regime change is going to make...
So you like Swift in the 3rd round?
No.
Okay.
I don't. I would take him maybe 4th.
I think a good...
mid to late 4th.
I think a good thing is, who would you rather have, J.K. Dobbins or DeAndre Swift? Because isn't J.K. going in the 3rd round too?
Let's see. Where's J.K.? Sorry, I've just screwed up a lot of this stuff.
You're good.
Looking at some other things.
It's not like people are paying attention.
Nah. All right. JK is going 307.
Okay.
So
I think I
behind
lean
him right now.
Swift there because Swift does have the possibility of just dominating, especially with the receiving work, getting elite level receiving work and the rushing work. JK is just not going to see any receiving work, and you're going to have to bank on high touchdown totals. So I think I'd lean Swift there, but I don't love it. 3rd round running backs are really hard to buy into because there's always a lot of red flags with them.
Yeah, I think. That one's tough. But yeah, I think I like Swift better as well, but barely.
I mean, Swift could theoretically push for 80 targets.
But I'm just gonna say this: I'm probably not gonna have either one of these on my team if they stay in the 3rd round.
Same.
So sorry, not happening. All right, you want to drop to TJ?
Yeah.
TJ will be the 4th best tight end in this league. Looks like he also finished 4th last year, so he'll probably stay the same.
There's a lot of people who's like hyping up TJ Hawkinson, and I don't hate it. Where is he going ADP?
I don't have him up. Let me pull him up real quick.
Because TJ is consistent, but he's not one of those like, he's not going to be a George Kittle. He's not Darren Waller, Travis Kelce, who gives you 30-point weeks. He's just not that player. He's just reliable,
505,
and boring. I'm not going to be taking TJ Hawkinson then.
No, it's way too high for me. Yeah, no, I mean,
I think last year we kind of saw the peak of TJ Hawkinson. I think I don't think he's going to regress, but I think that's at like best case scenario.
Just keep in mind that his last 3 games of the season was freaking terrible.
Oh yeah, it was awful.
It was really, really bad. 4 targets, 6 targets, 3 targets. 19 or 18, 23, 25 as far as yards and no touchdowns.
Yep.
I mean, it was atrocious. So the fact that he still
And he
finished
saw
4th.
101 targets at the position last year, and that's the nice thing because he could still push for that.
Yeah. But just keep in mind that like last year, all tight ends looked bad.
Well, the thing is, if you don't have TJ Hawkins, if you don't have
Travis
Kelce,
Kelce.
Darren Waller, George Kittle,
Yep.
what really separates a TJ Hawkinson from a Robert Tonyan,
Like a Logan Thomas.
Mark Andrews?
Yep.
I mean, yeah, he'll see a target. He'll be up there in the targets leaders for the tight end position again. But
and this year they don't have much else.
He's not going to be on that top tier.
Yeah, but they just don't have anything else there.
Exactly.
So he's gonna.
I mean, they didn't last year. Kenny missed pretty much most of the season. It was really just Marvin Jones out there.
Yeah, and him
with a better quarterback.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Thank you so much for watching the Fantasy Monsters on YouTube. If you liked our video today, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the little bell icon. Get notified whenever we go live or post other videos. You can see the link below. You can click on previous videos. You can also leave comments below. We'd love to hear from you guys as well. And we'll catch you next week.
Have a go.